Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. Today I've got the most delicious episode for you. I've got two recipes. I'm going to show you how to cook with fresh salmon fillet. I'm going to show you how to remove the skin and then cook it. Two different ways. First way, a Vietnamese style salmon. Really simple, sesame coated, absolutely delicious. And then I'm going all around the world pinching ideas. I'm going to make arancini, which is an Italian rice ball, but we're going to flavor it with Asian flavors. It's going to be absolutely delicious. First of all, Vietnamese salmon, sesame coated salmon, absolutely delicious, served with a sesame, soy, lime, mint and chili dressing. You are going to want to make this one. This Vietnamese salmon is absolutely delicious. The dressing recipe is also in my new cookbook. First thing you want to do, mix your black and white sesame seeds together and then lay the salmon pink side down into the sesame seeds. Get them nice and coated. It's going to give a wonderful nutty flavour. Then a drizzle of olive oil into a pan on a medium heat and cook the salmon sesame seed side down. Add a touch of butter, add a little bit of garlic in there, a little bit of ginger, just for flavour. When the sesame seeds are golden, turn it over and baste with butter. Cook your broccoli in some salted boiling water till just tender. Put it in with the salmon and let it rest. Now it's time for the dressing. Soy sauce, fresh chili, fresh mint, and bags of lime juice. That's the flavour combination that makes this Vietnamese dressing so unique and so delicious. Serve the salmon fillet up, add the broccoli, nice and healthy, and then drizzle with a little bit of honey onto the salmon, and you are ready to go. I like to then finish it, finally, just before serving, with the Vietnamese dressing. Right, just before you go racing off to the kitchen to make Vietnamese salmon, let me share my idea, arancini, Asian style, okay? First thing we need to do is make a risotto, okay? But we're going to use Asian flavors, but Italian style cooking. So, get an onion, and we're just going to chop it nice and fine. So this is just risotto. I may well really upset the Italians here, but, you know, risotto's a great, arancini is a great dish. So, you know, you should be intrigued, I think. So we're just using the risotto as a vessel to carry. And actually, this is a cheaper way because it kind of spreads the salmon out, makes it last a bit further. Because sometimes salmon can be quite expensive. So here is a great way to either use leftovers, or sort of make it go a bit further, okay? So, onion, nice and finely chopped. All risottos start with that. Straight in our pan. Okay. Let's crank the heat up. Let's grab a little bit of olive oil. Touch of olive oil in there, and that will get everything cooking. Good sprinkle of salt. And then we'll give that a little stir. And get it going. Okay, here now is where we're going to start going with our Asian-inspired ingredients. So, ginger and garlic, it's a bit like the backbone of a lot of Asian flavors. The combination of the two together is incredible. Really, really nice. So all I'm going to do is just take a thumb of ginger. And when you sort of see lots of recipes, they say a thumb of ginger. And that's what we mean. All right? It's not a precise measurement. But for some reason, that's the way we do it. So, chop it nice and fine. You can also grate fresh garlic as well if you want to. And then it just sort of melts into everything. So, in with our garlic. No, in with our ginger. Garlic next. So, a couple of cloves of garlic. Just bash them, lift the skin off. Really easy. Now, if you want any of today's recipes, make sure you sign up for our newsletter. petersidwell.com, sign up for it, and then we will automatically deliver each week the recipes to your inbox, okay? So it's a really nice way for us to be able to continue, because obviously we wrote a book last year. If you haven't got the book, you should totally get it. It's a good one. Some cracking recipes in there. If you have got it, you know what I'm talking about. But this year, we wanted to just keep the recipes coming. In with our garlic. Okay, garlic and ginger. Amazing combination. Once they hit the pan together, it's just like hungry bellies grumbling. Okay, so risotto rice. You could use a short grain rice if you want to, but it needs to be quite starchy because we want it to sort of sit together. So in with our rice. I always go a handful per person. It's kind of how you work. Is that how you do a paella at home?
Kind of, yeah.
And a handful per person?
Yeah.
And then one for the pan, I always say.
Yeah, my grandma used to do that, like.
Yeah. I'm terrible at measuring rice. Terrible. I always end up with loads. Okay, so let's just let that cook off. So, I've got some fresh coriander here. Now, you probably will have heard me talk about this. The leaf is delicious and lovely at the end of a dish. The stalk is what we cook with. There's bags of flavour in there. It's not as nice to eat raw, so we cook with that. And can you see that, Carlos? You see the elastic band sort of bundled it all together? Perfect. So all I need to do now is just chop it. And it all still leave the elastic band on. There we go. And then I can just pop that back in the water and that stays nice and fresh. And then in with our stalk. If you put the leaf in now, you just kind of lose all the flavour and all the freshness of a fresh herb. Okay, but the stalk bags the flavour. Okay. Now we're starting to smell like those wonderful Asian flavours. So what I've got is my kettle's boiled. We'll add a little bit. And now we're starting to release the starch, okay? So you kind of just add water or stock, because I'm going to add a stock cube in a minute. Add a bit of water, keep stirring. And this is what releases the starch, okay? So with good risottos, you've got to release the starch, and that's kind of what makes it nice and creamy. Okay?
You can tell already.
Yeah. You can see the liquid straight away is coming out. So once the liquid's kind of almost absorbed, add a touch more. Yeah? And then give it a stir. Same again. Just keep going like this. Take your time. Okay? They always say, like, if you order a risotto in a restaurant and it's there in 10 minutes, it's just been microwaved. It should take at least 20 minutes for a risotto. Okay? To get that lovely creaminess. And it shouldn't sit in a big ball. It should sort of sit and flatten out. You go to a good Italian restaurant, you get risotto, it should be flat on a plate. Yeah. Okay, so I've got enough liquid in there. I'm just going to add a simple vegetable stock cube to this. You could add chicken if you wanted to. You could add fish if you want to. Not a problem. This is the new one of the new colours from Masterclass. It's the new blue. It's like a royal blue, isn't it? I think. Great pan, 4 litre. If you haven't got one, you should totally get one. Use them all the time. Go to cookserveandenjoy.com. You can get one sent to your door. Or if you've got a cookware shop, ask for a Masterclass. 4 litre cast aluminium pan. And get your favourite colour. There's loads of great colours now. Okay, my risotto rice is almost cooked. You can see how it has absorbed lots of the liquid, but not all of it. You don't want it to be dry. You want it to, that is starch, and that will help stick it all together for a delicious arancini. So I'm just going to add a couple of bits. I've got black sesame seeds in there and white sesame for that sort of nutty flavour. And then I've got a little bit of Korean chili paste. Now, if you can't get this, you can get sriracha if you want, which is like hot sauce. But this is like a fermented chili paste, and it's called gochujang. All right? You can get it in all the supermarkets now because it's like a big craze. And it's fermented chili paste from Korea. It's absolutely delicious.
And then that will just give us a really nice flavour. So all I'm going to do now with this is I'm going to leave it to cool. Now, you could leave it overnight if you wanted to, and it will firm right up. And then once it's cooled and firm, we can make our arancini with the fresh salmon. Right, my risotto rice, I've completely cooled it in the fridge now, put it into a container, it is ready for the salmon. So I've got simple salmon fillet here. I'm going to show you how to actually remove the skin really easily, because if you go to a fishmonger's or a supermarket, they're going to charge you more per kilo if the skin's been prepared. So let's learn how to do it. It's super easy. So we've got a 180 gram fillet of salmon here with the skin on. I need to get rid of the skin. So 20 centimetre cook's knife. Put your hand flat on the fillet, skin side up. Okay? Put your little finger and your thumb up in the air. Okay? So you don't want to catch those with the knife. And then, can you see that all right, Carlos?
Yep.
Just cut under the skin nice and slowly, nice and carefully, yeah? Keep your fingers up and flat. And then all I'm doing there is, you see, I've cut the skin away because my knife is parallel to the board and I've got pressure on the fish, and I can just gently get it about a third of the way. Now I can flip it over, put my knife underneath, flat against the board, hold the skin with my fingers and just push. Nice and flat, parallel, and that will remove the skin. See? That's not bad, that, is it?
Perfect.
Nearly all the actual meat left. Then all we're going to do is we're going to cut the salmon into cubes, all right? Because we've done this through like an arancini, so we're using risotto rice to make the fish go further, because the fish is probably the most expensive part of this dish. So 1 or 2 fillets will go a long way. There's a little bone. Just miss that. So always feel around while you're handling the fish. Make sure there's no bones in there. Okay, so let's take our rice and let's get that salmon in. And then we'll start to just mix it together. Yeah, and just sort of put a little bit of pressure on and just shape it. Always best, you know, when you're handling risotto rice, you want it nice and cool, because then it will firm up and it'll hang on to everything. So all I'm going to do now, with some wet hands, I can smell the ginger, the garlic, the coriander. Smells fantastic. All we need to do, can you see that, Carlos? That's like what? Just a little bit smaller than a golf ball. Okay? And then we're just going to roll that in flour. Okay, so there's rice in there, there's salmon in there. Roll it in the seasoned flour, then into breadcrumbs. Turn it in those, keep one hand dry, because you don't want to end up with, you know, breadcrumbed hands. And then drop it into the breadcrumbs, okay? Then with your dry hand, lift some breadcrumbs and pour it on top. Give yourself a little barrier between the arancini, the actual rice and fish, and your hand by putting the breadcrumbs on there. And now we're coated in breadcrumbs. We can transfer that onto a plate. What you need to do now is do them all. So all I'm going to do, again, is just grab one, shape it. If there's too much ingredients, just remove a bit. What I would do is shape them all, then flour them all, then egg them, then breadcrumb. Okay? So I'm going to get these done and then we're ready to cook. Right, I've finished breadcrumbing all my arancini. Air fryer is on, 180 degrees, it's preheated. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray a little bit of oil onto these and not put it in the fryer. Okay, so that really, for me, is kind of like the key to good air frying, is if you want to just put a little bit of fat in there, but it's got to go on the ingredients, not in the pan. So you just want a nice sort of spray. I'm using the Masterclass. They do like a bottle spray. You can fill it with olive oil, pump it, and then it's ready to go. So there you go. They're like a less than a tablespoon of oil for all these, whereas if you were deep frying them or putting them in the oven, you'd use 3 or 4 times that easily. Right. So I'm actually going to do it by hand so I can do it carefully. Don't overfill your air fryer. So I'm actually going to put 9 in. and then I will keep them warm and do the rest, okay? So do not overfill your air fryer. Okay. So while they're cooking, I'm just going to show you a really quick store cupboard dip. Okay, I've got some chili jam left over in the fridge. I've got some light soy sauce. It's that simple. That's all it needs. Hit the cupboards. You're bound to have this sort of stuff in there. Okay, you could use chili sauce if you wanted to. So I'm going to add a little bit of chili in there. In fact, I'm going to add a touch of vinegar as well, because I think the acidity will work really well. If I had a lime, I'd put that in. But a touch of vinegar, and that'll now make it sort of warm, sweet and tangy. Okay, with chili jam. And then we're going to sort of savorize it with some light soy. So this is going to give it its sort of seasoning and its saltiness. There we go. Let's just mix that together. So we've got chili jam, we've got vinegar, and we've got a bit of soy sauce. So it's a perfect little dipping sauce. Give it a real nice little kick. And then I've got some coriander leaf here. I'm going to put mostly stalk in here because I kind of want that flavour. But I've got a bit of the leaf as well. So let's chop it really, really fine. Roll it up. Chop it nice and fine. This will give a bit of fragrance as well. So within there of like a minute of making this sauce, we've got balance. You know? And the key is having a taste. So put these things in. Have a taste. And adjust it accordingly, yeah? So there. Any leftovers, chuck it through some noodles another day, yeah? So never use it, you know, waste it. Always use your leftovers, so it's great. Sweet, hot, sour, salty, beautiful. Just waiting for our salmon arancinis. Arancinis have had about 12 minutes in the air fryer, 180 degrees, nearly ready. Final little touch, got my sauce. I've got a spring onion here. Just want to add a bit of freshness, a bit of raw. So a little bit of crunch. So we've got some nice spring onion here. There's enough white there, and then a little bit of green as well. And then a few sprigs of coriander as well, because I'm a coriander lover. Not everyone is. My daughter's discovered she absolutely loathes coriander, and I don't think there's any way around it. You either love it or hate it, don't you? Right, let's have a little look at these because we are ready to go. You ready for a Asian arancini, Carlos?
Always.
Always. Look at that. You see those?
Yep.
Look, because we got lots of space around them, they've all crisped up, lovely and golden. Got a few more here as well. I've done those ones. The good thing about this, you can also freeze it. If you're using fresh salmon mixed through your arancini, through your risotto rice, that can then go in the freezer, and then you can, after you've breadcrumbed them, and then they're ready to go. But obviously, if you've bought frozen salmon, thawed it, you can't, okay? Because you would end up freezing the salmon twice. But there you go. That is absolutely delicious. This is going to be so nice. This is a first, I think. Let's just pop a few bits of greenery, some spring onions, things like that. And there you go. That is how to make my arancinis that are flavoured with Asian spices, garlic, ginger. We've got a little bit of Korean spice in there, fresh salmon fillet, and a beautiful sauce. You ready to try, Carlos?
Please.
Right. But you can hear, listen, nice and crispy. Perfectly cooked. Look, can you see the salmon in there?
Yep.
How nice does that look? This may well just cure your cold, Carlos.
So,
There you go. Have a little taste of that.
thank you.
Emily? Are we going arancini? Asian arancini. Just coming to the side.
Oh, thank you.
There we go. Have a little taste of that. Tell me what you think. I'm going to have a little go as well.
Oh,
Hot.
I'm going a little bit of lemon as well because it's fish and I just love lemon on fish.
They're nice.
Mmm. Mmm. Beautiful. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Now, if you want the recipes, sign up to our newsletter on the website, petersidwell.com. We will deliver the newsletter with all the recipes in every week, about 9:10 while you're watching the program, if you're watching live. If not, we'll follow up. But that's how we do these recipes. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next episode.